Salute to all the real ones, y'all. I appreciate you for tapping into this video if you have so. If not, that's okay. You can watch my other previous videos. Every video that I give y'all is straight about the soul and diving deep beyond the depths of what lies beyond inside of you, family. I like to talk more so about if you want to say, but what lies beneath the surface, because everybody tells y'all what's on the surface, y'all. Distractions, you know, entertainment, validation, all that shit is so accessible, y'all. You can go on any device, on any social media, and find that shit, y'all, because it's something that has no value. There's too much of that shit flowing everywhere, y'all. That shit ain't valuable at all. It's valueless. That's why everybody's fucking stuck or slave to their desires. But in this video, I wanted to talk about the imagination that you have while being on semen retention or staying celibate, y'all. You know, when you choose this journey, I repeat, y'all, when you choose semen retention or when you choose celibacy, y'all, you chose this because you wanted better for yourself. Deep down inside, you wanted better for yourself. Even if you told yourself you wanted the women attraction, right? Or you wanted, you know, something or someone. You did it because you really wanted to find what's inside you that you are missing, y'all. I repeat that. Everybody who's taken this journey, yes, they wanted something externally, but most importantly, you wanted yourself to feel whole again. Because now it's like you're missing a piece of you once you lose yourself. And that's what many people don't like to talk about, or something that is not really known, but it is known because you're aware of this. You just may not talk about it as much. But your imagination starts to open, yo. It increases heavily, right? That means that, you know, think of your life like a book, yo. If you were to leave this world, you were a biography in a book, right? Well, that book is temporarily closed and it's not being processed and you know, dictating your life when you're not on this journey because you're not aware of what you need to do. You're not working on yourself. You're distracted by the world, right? The world has taught you to be distracted by the world so you can give it your time and your energy. That's what the world has over you. That's dominion, that's power, that's domination. But that's synthetic domination because it's not really what's supposed to go down. So when you get on this journey, I repeat, and you take it serious and you're on it, right? What starts to happen is that you pull that book from the shelf, yo, and you remove or you wipe off all the dust and debris off of it. And now it's like somebody reading your story because now your story begins the minute you take your self-respect and your identity back. That's why I always tell you, man, if people don't value or they don't see your worth, man, that's because they're blind by their own worth, yo. You know, they're only gonna not fuck with you because you're worth too much or they're worth so little. There's no other way around it, yo. You know, so don't look at people like they are bad. It's just the universe removing filth that shouldn't be around something that's clean. But it's just like you, yo, when you get on this journey, yo, you're removing the filth that you were once living in and changing that reality so you can now live clean because you don't like living the way you were brought up in this society, yo. You know, you are the only being in this world that has the power to create your reality. So make sure you live a life that's worth enjoying, yo, you know? Because you are the person that is in the book, yo, that people are gonna read about one day if you choose to stay celibate, yo. You know, everybody who has went celibate, yo, they did it because they wanted something or someone. Whether they wanted to find a love of their life, whether they wanted to be rich one day, whether they wanted to be stable, whether they wanted to look good, right? But even though you chose it because of that reason, deep down inside your soul wanted that reason to be because you wanted to choose yourself again. You wanted to love you more, you know. And that's the most important thing about this journey, yo, is that you learn to love yourself more. You know, you love yourself so much that you don't give a fuck about nothing else outside of you because you're not missing that internal piece that was removed the minute you gave your self-respect away. Here it is, family. You're either going to have your self-respect or you're going to have, you know, distractions and entertainment from the world, but you can't have both because you can't do both at the same time. That's why it is important to realize what do you want. You know, People do not respect you when you live of the world, y'all. The ones that live of the world will respect you because you're like them, and so they won't feel so, fucked up about themselves, y'all. So they use you as someone to look at themselves like, I'm not the only one, right? But there will also be people of this world that will envy and really hate the fuck out of you because you're bringing those demons out to the surface that they have been hiding for so long, that only a chosen one or someone with enough light can do. And that's why they don't like being around your ass, family, because you're literally telling them you're literally telling them that you are fucking dirty or filthy because your aura is too pure for their impurity to be around, yo. That's science, that's physics, but that's metaphysics. So now let's get back to the topic, yo. Your imagination. Well, when you were a kid, you had dreams, you loved doing things, you were always happy. You thought life was easy, right? Because you imagined it to be that way. When you imagine things that way, so it shall be, because you are the creator of your reality. Well, once you have lost your identity, your self-respect, and you have shrunken so low to a service-like level, that shit vanished, because now you were blocked by the mind, by what the physical is holding you against, y'all. So the physical world around you has kept you away from your imagination, because you couldn't imagine things, y'all, while you were stuck going to school, working all day, chasing shit, losing your value. So imagine, eventually, your imagination has dimmed over time. And for somebody who's on this journey, yo, well then, you don't have no imagination. And if you do, it's not very heightened, like myself, or like others around. So that's why it is important to get on this journey, yo, because how the fuck can you take your life back? How can you create things? How can you start your own brand, your own business, be your own boss? If you don't even have control of your own urges, your own self, your own reality, yo. You think people are gonna wanna follow somebody who can't control them? Fuck no. Because you're uncontrollable. You're someone that is, you wanna have control. Because if you're uncontrollable, yo, well then people are gonna look at you like you're chaos. You're just talking off of your ass, but not proving anything. For me to make a video every day, even if a good 20 to 30, 40 people watch it, yo, that means that I have enough control to remember that somebody needs my aidance in this world, y'all. And if not, I'm still going to give it to the world, because God would be happy that I did, He wouldn't forsake me, and He wouldn't look down on me. He would clap for me. He would admire that, in a world like this that's breaking everybody, I still stand tall, and I affirm what I speak on, because this shit is real, because I've seen it with these eyes. So as I give y'all this video, family, your imagination is only going to increase tenfold when you stay on the fucking journey. And that's good. You want to have an imagination, because you want to imagine what you are going to become the more you stay on the journey, y'all. The more you live in purity, the more you stay calm, the more you realize that it's just me against the world, because the world's against all of us, y'all. But the world has crushed everybody like this. And you're uncrushable, because you're not bowing to the world. You're not accepting the bare minimum. You're not living in distractions, chasing validation, going out and hanging with the fucking crowd, y'all. You don't want to be around them zombies, y'all. You want to live alone, stay quiet, and build when people are either watching or they're not, because you don't care. You're living like how Jesus was when He was here, y'all. And that's what people can't stand about you, y'all, because they finally see someone in the physical doing His exact work. And it irritates the fuck out of them, because they look at themselves like, why can I not do what he's doing? Why can't she not do why can I not do what she's doing? Because you're letting everything around you control you or dictate your reality, yo. And that just shows you you're a bitch. You have no worth. You're just simply low self-esteem person. That's exactly why you don't gain respect from others, or people don't respect you. Because you don't give yourself that same respect. How can the world respect you when you're not respecting yourself? Think about that, yo. That's simply science. But in order for you to fully get this, y'all, you would have to walk down this road. It may be lonely. It may be hard as fuck. It may be the hardest thing you ever do in your life. But once you walk out, y'all, from walking within, you will never look back again, because you will know what your purpose is. You will know what you were destined to do. You will know that this power not only boosts your confidence level, but it boosts everything around you and within you. So your stats naturally just go up, because I'm telling you right now, family, you are putting in that work. You are trying. And that's where it starts, family. Once you try, you can never fail. Because if you try, y'all, you at least you're starting the journey, y'all. But yes, family, expect your imagination to go up. Expect your work ethic to increase. Expect your energy levels to rise. You're not going to be so tired if you're not eating so much. But you may also not want to eat so much as well, because you feel good on the daily without eating. When you live low, when you don't have energy, y'all, what happens? That means literally, y'all, that your body is trying to consume something to build energy, y'all, because your body breaks down food to gain a sense of energy, right? But once you have so much energy within, and you allow your seed to build within you and grow, you realize you don't need much food. You realize you don't even need to eat at all. And the more you don't eat, the more your energy gives you the sense to build on your kingdom, y'all. When you eat a lot of shit, y'all, that creative energy that you are using to build your reality is now being forced to break down everything within your body. So at that moment in time, y'all, you may feel like you want to stay comfortable, or you just want to sleep off, so you can let your body break it down. That's science, right? So that's why I always tell y'all, eat the right things, y'all, or don't eat too much at all if you are going to eat something that's devastating, because your body is truly something that is scientifically, majestical. But until you realize that, until you realize the power of your body, until you realize the power of your mind, you will stay stuck, y'all, because I always tell you this: you are what you eat, y'all. You feed, what you eat is going to be a representation of you walking, because food is information, food is energy, y'all. And what you feed yourself, you're putting that information into your body to adapt to. That's why I tell y'all, man, you shouldn't be eating meat as much. You shouldn't be even eating that shit at all, because how that shit is, it's dead. So you are putting that dead within your body. Now you're walking dead. But this was a video, family, and before I end this video, I want to remind you that you will have a strong imagination, and you will take that book, and you will be the one writing down your story for someone to read it one day while you're on this journey. Because if you're truly on this journey, you're not going to sit down and wait for nothing. You're going to build, you're going to create, you're going to choose the life, the path of mystery, because your soul is intrigued by the light you have chosen to keep within you. You don't think God is not happy? He's proud of you, because nothing else can dictate you or control you. The world can't break you no more. So of course he's happy. That's why he blesses you. That's why he gives you things. And that's why he removes motherfuckers who ain't meant to be in your life, because they live for the world, while you live for heaven. Think about that deeply, chosen one, because not everybody thinks like this. But if you have watched the end of this video and you don't believe yet, or you haven't seen it, just keep living one day at a time. Do as much as you can within that day, y'all. Don't worry about the days. Worry about making the days count. And you will get what I'm talking about, y'all, because all of us had to live at the lowest to begin to rise at the highest, family. But I speak with just straight being humble, man, because it's not about the days. It's knowing if you're on a journey, you are winning right now. But I see y'all, man. I love y'all. Ashe.